get cut off in this. Excuse the background music. Counter solution. Goes to show when you put your feelers out what you might be able to find. And they can't refuse this. CD might finish in a minute. I hope it does. Can't concentrate. Right. For display people, no, it hasn't. It's going to go on. It's going to distract me, so I'm going to do my best on this one. This will be tomorrow. I have. Can you just turn that down? Right. This phone's on charge. This might be back to front. CAPITA, person dependence. Right, now what they're trying to claim on behalf of that logo down there is known as Department of Works and Pensions, Head Office, Clapton House, London, but the area office for person dependence benefit offer is up in Wolverhampton. So also they're implying on the section up here in the IT produced documentation. Now, Capita Business Services Limited Company, 71 Victoria Street, Westminster, London, part of Capita PLC. They also have a contract with NHS in UK for digital people's medical data. So they already have your data. So point of this stream on Wednesday today in the UK is the fact that what I'm about to read, I haven't come on to this part about ID yet, is notice principal, notice to agent, and notice to agent, notice principal. Well, I can't put it like that in this email, but I'm just wording that for the principle of this stream. To Capita, again, I'm just going to just make a note of the business and look it up online of the business services limited. They've got an email. I can't get this posted, it has to be done by email and attached to the statute law section 2122 of the Equality Act 2010. I was aware and I wasn't sure which sections was relevant to this point for disabled people in my position. So my counterclaim offer is this: to make reasonable adjustments, and I hope you can hear, in relation to relevant comparison with people of non-disabled who are non. I need to reword that. I just made a draft of this. Comparison with non-disabled people, and there's a reason why it's worded that way. Okay. To not take to and again I'm just going to abbreviate this. Right, to take steps not to, and it's my handwriting, I'd like to write this quite quick. To say in the point 3, to take steps not to put, that's it, the word is put, this is on the statute law, put, and it will be myself and I, as they say, myself, at substantial disadvantage. Point 4 will be to offer on behalf of DWP, the Department of Person Dependence, full stop, via the contractor employees, a healthcare professional for Capita, and that is known as Capita Business Services Limited, area office local in my area, which I've quoted here, of offer of a home visit. Next point, I am unable to travel out of my area as area of, I'm just trying to, oh, it's got radio, it's distracting me. Unable to travel out of my area as a, I'm just going to need to reword this of my overall stop. A offer is being made to travel 30 miles to Coventry, that's in UK. And then the next paragraph, or next page, page 2, it's been a long email, but this is going to do a counterclaim back to who's caused me this alarming stress for the past 2 days. So finally, somebody online on Facebook is kindly in, hi, this is for ESA. No, it's for Capita PLC, and it's on behalf of DWP, and it's those people, yeah, who are finding people not, it's all over the news, isn't it? And you can't get the PIP, personal independence. I've sent all of the medical evidence, enough coming at me is unreal how much people have to do. The fact is, yes, it is. Hi, I could be wrong, could be right, yeah. And the fact is, yeah, it's back to front, sorry, can't do it the other way. What's going on with the radio? Excuse me, okay, let me turn the radio off. And you turn it off. Wait. I don't want it playing. Thank you. Yeah, thanks. So we just found a solution to this, because on this section of Equality Act 2010 statute law in UK, I didn't know about this section 20, and the section key point is 21 and 22 to make disability reasonable adjustment in line with not to put a disabled man or woman at substantial disadvantage. This is the key word, and I've been needing for a long time in other areas too. But this is in relation to comparison with non-disabled people, to take the necessary steps. And the key 3 points, steps in statute law, somebody linked me to, which I read up just now. Provision, and I have to pronounce this word, I can't get my words today, I've been so ill. The spelling of this other word is CRITER, quotation. I have to look at what the meaning of that word is before email. And I think it could be practiced, but I need to re-look at. I've downloaded this statute anyway. To take steps as reasonable to have to take and to avoid the disadvantage. So in other words, I've just tried to abbreviate that into plain English for my simple little ears. This is a problem. I've never been able to do this all over the phone. The social worker I've been dealing with on my Care Act 2014. It's another complex statute. It's so complex, 40 pages long. but the questions they have to go through, and my situation's got worse, unfortunately, where I'm going to be able to move out very quickly into care, whatever care placement that might be, because I'm seriously deteriorated over the past weeks. So my serious situation in this condition, where I'm left to live like by the lack of this particular subject by Home Group Limited, and it's been ongoing for over a year, and I have to draw a line to put my health and safety first. Otherwise, I'm dealing with people that were just going to say, well, she's not mentally. I don't have that, unfortunately. My family disowned me since my death of my mum. I don't have that because they just blocked me. I don't know why. They're religious members of the family. And I don't have my private life friends right now who are struggling like hell to do the basic things on my own, with help me with everything. And they can't sit in on meetings or even to sit in on these kind of medicals with anything extra, all phone calls. So the social worker for months have been trying to get these extension times, and she was made it quite clear in emails as well to me, meetings, that she was going to use all of this very detailed Care Act assessment report, additional evidence of why I cannot do this, that and the other, and what I need help with, and on top of what I've already provided. And yet, because it's so detailed and all the cutbacks in my area, the Kent Council, the NHS, the OT waiting list, I have not got that report, and it's not been completed, and everything has been rushed through. So today was again another trying to get people to see if they can assist me on a meeting on Friday to make this call, perhaps to these people. But in the meantime, if I thought tomorrow I could structure this email and bullet point to this email address I've got, and then put in perhaps the social worker's details, which I know they already got, the DWP have, but I don't know if Capita have got it, and also my doctor's number and details. And so they need clarification who they are. There's still no guarantee that they will comply in their statutory duty, but if it's in black and white, there's grounds to use that evidence to go to mandatory reconsideration, and then also to perhaps the tribunal appeal if I'm being blocked and refuse an assessment because I need this disability reason adjustment. Now also, there is the other element. One has the lawful right to record audio only. If you have, they might not provide their own recording equipment, so I do have that. I have 2 cassette players with tapes with batteries, and also in the email will be, I require assistance to have that set up for me because I'm limited mobility and one-handed. I cannot do it on my own, and therefore there will be a copy for the healthcare professional assessor, and there will be a copy for me. They cannot lawfully refuse because it's in the Department of Work and Pensions statutory policy that is the individual's right to record their assessment. And if the assessor on the day refuses that, because you just don't know, then they also are in breach. And then, of course, there's other methods that one can use discreetly, but I would like to be above board so that nobody can come back on me, as they like to do sometimes. So, as I said on the second part of the email would be, if I am not offered a home visit, and due to the nature of my lifelong physical joint nature disabilities, and I go into a couple of the points on that, and on my personal high daily care needs, because I can't sit no longer in my wheelchair for long, and they will make you sit and watch you and everything. Well, I don't care because I've got nothing to. I know they're going to find faults and trying to make you fit for work. That's what the game is. We're not a game, but that's where the Department of Works and Pensions come in and it's all over. There's websites and forums and people's making YouTube channels and videos and stuff about all this already. It's been going on for a while. It's just for everything, for ESA, for PIP, for the universal credit coming up. So if I don't get this in now, and it's on record, this, I like to think it could help also when this universal credit comes into. And I like to think forward, trying to be positive. I have not been able to because my ill health's taken over my body today, and it's been extremely difficult. And I know people assume, presumption, one does have family and friends to help, but I don't. And then social circumstances, is effects of my psychological state of the death of my mum. It's extremely a very, very dark time on that on top. So the next point will be, this is to my because I'm trying to make it imply I do get offered for all home visits by offer a medical goods and services. So that's like blood tests, dental services, whatever it may be, individual needs with doctor's visits, and also female only. And there's a reason why that is a female only for offer goods and services, and it's on my medical notes. So they also work in medical digital data with the NHS. So they will have the record. They can easily check everything. They do anyway. And then I just make reference to that point. Then I'll include again, although they know the GP details and the social worker details, I will put that in again as a reference. So there's an email and a phone number. Well, I don't have the email for the doctors, but the phone number and their location. And then I would just really briefly end it with, if required to confirm this and what I've said above, and I'll have to add me 3 more points. As I said, my social worker details are such and such. Now, when to carry out, who I shall add at the end of it, that they are in the middle of carrying out the offer of a detailed Care Act 2014 for medical, OT assessments, health care, and joint referrals to the psychological mental health side. On that subject is because of the impact on the shocking effect of my mum's death and how it's affected me on top. So it's affected everything. So if I have to abbreviate it and keep it short, because that's how I suppose their business need to word it, and I need to word it in my own wording, because that's how I've had to handwrite how my disabilities affect me, and it's not that clear, and I can't explain myself that clear unless I've got somebody with me to assist me, and that's the difficulty. I can talk about other things and in other subjects, that's no problem, but when it's about me personally and my situation, I have a huge problem, and that's because my reality I don't talk about because it's a nightmare. And I've tried every avenue for so long, and now it's the reality is affecting me in such a way that unfortunately I'm not giving in. I just need to now seek assistance, and I'm getting bombarded with everything all at once. So it's completely overwhelming, where it's a detrimental effect, and I have tried to seek this particular key point on the reasonable adjustment of accessible format on the questions of even with the public sector side, and they keep rejecting my lawful right on that because of their, I found out today, I'm extremely upset, and because of my glands, my throat seized up, I couldn't get my words out again, and I'm really run down, and extremely distressing. And anyway, I couldn't get hold of anybody because I found out, and a long story cut short, that my area in UK, there is now dissolved of Northamptonshire County Council as we know it. And they're going to create the two unity councils for the first of the United Kingdom in my area. And okay, it's not going to happen overnight, but all the changes are putting people on edge working there. And today, when I tried to offer a very critical matter and urgent issue to even a duty social worker, I couldn't get hold of nobody. Everyone was busy. And then I got hold of the complaints department, not to make a complaint, but to raise my concerns. Just phone and ask for a friend or support worker. Thank you very much. I could be wrong, could be right. It's not as easy as that, unfortunately. It might be with other people, but I'm not in that position. So this stream's really about how one needs to try and put this into writing, because you might need to use it as evidence if it goes to, as I said, the Department of Works and Pensions, the appeal, mandatory decisions, and it goes on and on and on, because it has a serious impact on everything else in people's lives and positions like I. And you will not be offered from, like for me, for next week, any disability living allowance that ends in that date. I haven't given a date, and this is a date they're offering as medical. I cannot travel to Coventry, that's 30 miles away. I cannot travel in accessible vehicle, even a taxi, because of the nature of my physical, complex, dental, psychological, is all. I wish I wasn't complex, like the system like to word it all the time, but that's my reality. And a post online, it said they deliberately do this to people to, well, the appointment date and time also was obvious now to me, that they said it at the end of the day where people are saying want to get home. So they offered a time of 5 to 5, knowing that going to rush the care assessment process, knowing that the assessor will be tired by the end of the day. And there'll be and their attitude will be definitely pushing the buttons. So this is just a part of existence in this messed up world we're living in 2018. In this part of the world anyway, United Kingdom. And I think many people are going through so much themselves, and they might just have support, they might just have family. But my area, there's only 2. They don't do home visits or support services. Independent, like so-called advocacy for benefits advice. The contract for funding for community law is cut. For months they refused to offer me any support or any home visit, and they discriminated against me. And it's all because I know certain people working there. I've got no personal issues with them, but when they abuse me on the phone, it's deliberate, and such a way I can't even describe, because I found another source. I was unlawfully misled a while ago on another subject by the same area, community law, they deal with in other subjects too. And I was able to hold that individual accountable, and that's why they got B in their bonnet and deliberately targeting me, and negatively and all unlawfully. And it's completely a different subject altogether, and they shouldn't be doing that. So the email went to the managing director, I know of them, and who they're co-funded by. And it's all by certain public sector services. Well, I don't know how they're going to survive now, because all the cuts in contracts offered by public funded bodies in my area. And it's the same for any other, like Citizens of Ice. They get their funding, part funding, by the same funding medium. And even if you were well enough to get up just the road to the local dropping in a wheelchair public building, right? You've got just a 10-minute drop-in time if you're lucky to get somebody waiting around, and then you have to wait for about 6 to 7 or 8 weeks before you see anybody. Again, even on an emergency basis. That's how serious it's got in my area too. So I tried all these avenues for months, and I got nowhere. So that's why I'm making a stream today with somebody's kindly. I needed that thought pattern, independent view, what else I could try. So I just basically posted this type of wording on certain social media or a certain page to get feedback of what the individual might think to it, and if there's any adjustments I can make, and that's all I can do. But at least, because my social worker might not able to make their call on Friday, and again might say her boss, the line manager, say it's not their job, then I'll be left again in a worse position and not enough time to get this in place. I don't know if this will work. I can only try. And the point now is to get an early night, early-ish, so my friends can try and help me focus on this. I can't possibly get to a medical appointment tomorrow either. I've been trying to for over a year, because I can't accept the surgery I need because of the environment I'm living in. It's deteriorating on my health, and again I need nursing care, aftercare, and again I can't have that while I'm here. So they cancelled appointment on me before, so my mate sent an email to certain different NHS body service, whatever you call it, to seek a remedy on that one, and to rearrange to such a time that I am stable in my health to offer a specialist hospital contracted transport to get there, because I'm not independently able just to get there on my own either. It's not just being able to get in a accessible taxi. I need somebody to travel with me, and the risk to my health of another stroke and the setback of symptoms of that happening was last Friday in a meeting. I was about to call the ambulance in this public cafe in front of my advocate because I couldn't breathe. I was having the heart palpitations. It wasn't stress. It would just suddenly come on with a headache. The same symptoms happened to me last year. And she's a young female advocate, wouldn't know what to do. And I struggled on with that meeting. And when I come back again, it's a bank holiday weekend, thank gosh. I was able just to bed rest all weekend. And I was going to call the out of hours medical people today because I've not been my mate's extremely concerned for me on my health and physical. So what they tried to do was get some kind of vegetables and mash it all up and make a soup out of it so I can try and eat that to keep my immune system stable and to be able to be focused to do this tomorrow. So hence the stream today. If this helps anyone else of the subject of Equality Statute Law 2010 and what there is a lawful duty to do, and well, that's also might be a benefit, but I really don't know what the outcome could be. Again, there is so many people going through so much, and so I'm just going to get off now, and my friend's going to check this company online and jot down the details on what to do. I mean, points. So it does take a long time to do an email for me, and unfortunately they've had to rearrange a different shift or something to come and help me tomorrow. And this is where I need extra help with emails, phone calls, paperwork, everything else. I do not know on the longer term what the outcome will be in my personal situation, but I do know that I will not be able to keep carrying on living here the way it is right now. So how it works for people in my position in the United Kingdom in statute law, they will see this home unrepaired, unsafe, but they won't look at it like it's responsibility in housing. Should have done this all along. This, that, and the other, which I know they should have done. I know who's behind blocking all the repairs and why, but it doesn't matter. I've done all my evidence of factual information to prove all this, and why I've ended up so ill. But they won't look at it like that in statute law. They would just put it on to health, safety, safeguard issue about me. Anyway, whatever. At the end of the day, I can't keep printing bloody emails, and I can't keep constant phone calls. I can't keep doing this, that, and the other. It just needs to be, I need to just cut my losses, basically. I'm not giving up. I just need to I know what the bigger picture is behind all this, not just me. And I know why they're doing it, and I can't go into all that. I just know what's behind it all, and who's doing it all. Not everything, but key things and why. And it's just a sad old bloody world, and it isn't that easy. These things are seriously affecting so many people that are going through dark situations and starving and ending up dying in serious ways. And yet the pressures on everything linked up to this subject. So it's not just Department of Works and Pensions, it's not just NHS, it's not just this, that and the other, it's all linked. And when you see the bigger picture, my God, it's going other places around the world. You look at United Kingdom, you think, we're meant to be a wealthy country. No, we're not. No, we're not. Not when you're going to have people that are unfortunate, no fault of their own, when they end up getting ill, get run over, and have things happen to them. It's not their fault, but we're singled out like it is. It's not lawful, but that's how it is in reality. You won't get the mainstream media portraying all this. You won't get ordinary people that are out to work and out and about because they're creating divide. Oh, she or he is this. I've had so much hate, so much pure evil hate to me around my area, and direct evidence of videos and photographs of who's behind it all. And that is a deliberate attempt to get me out of my own home, to create psychological distress on top and threats. There is no point in reporting it because nobody does anything about it. So, the real criminals get away with what they do. Those do not harm anybody get penalised. It's all backward. Every bloody system, the way it should be run years ago, I know it to be anyway, is gone upside down. And so all I try and do is little things. There's no guarantee for anything anyway, so I can't change what's happened before, and I can't predict what's going to happen like in a week. Well, I can for this one in a week's time, but I can't predict the next X amount of part of my life because it's not happened yet, and I'm just going to focus here and now. God bless. Got to sign out. Thank you for tuning in.